After Skarloey's disastrous crash into Brendan Bay Bridge, the repair work had taken so much of Henry and Salty's time that the Flying Kipper had to be left on the quay, and its load of fish was stinking up the docks terribly. None of the engines were amused by this, especially Gordon, who complained to Salty one night.
"Oh, this smell is horrible,"
said Gordon.
"Can't you put these loads somewhere else?"
"Well, let's see here. No."
Salty was tired of Gordon's complaining, and the constant smell of fish wasn't doing much to help anyone's mood.
"Well, I can't stand this wretched odor. You'll never find me hauling goods trains at this hour, much less fish."
Brr.
Gordon declared and puffed away.
"Oh, hush. I'm sure you'll come around to fish eventually, me hearty,"
Salty exclaimed. The next morning, Sir Topham Hatt was debriefing engines on some new schedule changes.
"All right, everyone, I've got some important news. 2 engines are coming to trail on Sodor in about a month." "Let's just hope they're respectable individuals," said James.
"Oh, please," said Toby. "Sir Topham Hatt has excellent judgment. If he'd allow them to stay, we needn't worry."
"Oh, yes, about that. One of the engines is an American soldier. I believe his name is Zug," continued Sir Topham Hatt. "Sounds like a nice, hard-working chap," said Henry.
"Well, yes, but the other engine is Sir, if the new engine is a diesel, we want you to know that we no longer feel as prejudiced as we once did against diesels. If we still felt the same way, surely you'd have heard about it from Mavis or Salty. What do you say, team? Shall we give this new diesel a shot?" Thomas, well, I appreciate your enthusiasm. What I was going to say is that the new diesel will be coming to help pull the express, because Gordon will be pulling the Kipper."
"What?"
Gordon gasped. Despite Sir Topham Hatt treating him unfairly, Gordon had to admit the docks could look quite pretty at night. Lots of ships use the harbor at the big station by the sea. Seeing all those tugs and steamships moving about in the moonlight was quite a spectacle. But soon Gordon had to snap back to reality. His train had almost been fully loaded with fish, and while the dock workers hustled and shouted, Gordon heard the final van's door being shut. He saw the guard show his green lamp, and Gordon was...
"Oi! What the devil are you standing around for? Get going, you lazy hunk of metal,"
said the foreman. As I was saying, Gordon was off. Gordon loved to pull the express at night, and this was almost the same. The spring breeze whistled past him as he flew along the countryside, and the starry morning peeked through the clouds with a hint of light.
"You know," puffed Gordon, "perhaps this won't be so bad after all."
The vans heard this and began talking amongst themselves.
"So Gordon's decided he'd rather pull trucks, eh?"
mused a truck.
"He can't do that. Ain't that Henry's job?"
whined another.
"Not to mention,"
grumbled a third,
"he's always hated us. Why should he care now?"
Soon the trucks were in quite a stir.
"It's them stuck-up coaches' fault. Dirty cattle cars want to pawn their engines off on us."
"Let's teach him a lesson."
The trucks were in agreement. It was time to teach those coaches a lesson. Just as Gordon had reached the top of the old bridge, the trucks decided to strike.
"I say, what are you murmuring about back there?"
said Gordon.
"Just pushing you down the line into those parked fuel tankers,"
one truck said matter-of-factly.
"Ah, I see. Wait, what?"
Gordon gasped. With all their might, the trucks started pushing Gordon down the line. but Gordon quickly slammed on his brakes, trying to stop a fiery disaster.
Stop this madness at once, shouted Gordon.
Yeah, why should we?
Sneered the trucks.
Because, said Gordon, you'll be blown up too.
Oh, wait, we didn't think of that.
The trucks muttered, and they stopped pushing.
Well, that's better,
said Gordon, switching off his brakes.
You idiots almost got us blown up with your embellic plan.
This insult was just too much for the trucks to handle. Seething with rage, they started pushing again, harder than before.
No, wait, stop!
Oh!
Cried Gordon, speeding down the hill, straight into the path of the fuel cars. But luckily Salty had seen Gordon straining to hold the trucks back and pulled away the fuel tankers just in time. Gordon lay sideways, dazed and confused, in a pile of fractured cars and icy fish. His tender had fallen into the sea, and he would have too, had some flatbeds not stopped him from a watery grave.
Sputtering noise, Gordon groaned. Oh, heavens, it smells worse than things that smell really bad. Wow, real smooth, Gordon. You're lucky I moved those fuel cars when I did, matey. Or else you'd be sitting in a crater rather than sitting in fish, for sure,
said Salty.
I suppose so,
Gordon grunted.
Well,
said Salty,
I suppose one good thing came out of all of this.
And that would be?
Gordon grumbled.
Well, I was right after all,
Salty chuckled.
Ye did come round to fish in the end.
Salty rolled away, but Gordon said nothing. His face had turned as red as salmon.
What the heck do you need a tender for?
Well, our attempt to kill Big Blue with fire didn't work, so we'll have to take more direct measures.
So what, you'll trap 'em and take 'em to the smelters?
Precisely.
And to set a trap?
You need bait.